May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from harm. May all beings love life. May all beings awaken. Welcome to another Cuke Audio mini podcast. I'm DC Poobah of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, preserving the legacy of Shunryu Suzuki and those whose paths crossed his, and anything else that comes to mind. I pray that you and yours are safe and comfortable and free from economic hardship and able to get out and do whatever it is you want within the confines of the universal precept of do as little harm as possible. So we completed the entire book, Zen is Right Here, and I sat down here and said, well, what am I going to do now? What would be suitable for a mini podcast? I'm going to start reading Brief Memories. There's a Brief Memories section on Cuke.com, and I'm just going to read down it and just see what's in there. I've been making it since, 20 years or I don't know how long. The website's, this is the 23rd year for this website, Cuke.com. So anyway, the first one is from Tozen Akiyama, who has been called Tozen Akiyama Roshi and Tozen Akiyama Sensei, but he says he prefers to be called Hopeless Tozen. And he's in the lineage of homeless Kodo Sawaki. So Tozen writes, I don't know why you were interested in what I talked about while you were driving to Aroma Roasters. Anyway, here it is. I did not know anything about Zen, but my interest in studying Zen became stronger while I was teaching Japanese at the University of Hawaii. I heard there was a famous Japanese Zen priest in San Francisco, so I visited him during the winter vacation of 1971. I met the priest's wife. She said, today is the 7th Memorial Day of my husband. He chose an American disciple as his successor before he died. Needless to say, the priest was Shunryu Suzuki Roshi. Tozen further said that Mrs. Suzuki then told him that if he wanted to study Zen there, he'd have to study with Richard Baker, an American. He flew back to Japan to seek a Japanese teacher. So, that's Brief Memories. He never met him, but he almost did. And he went back and he got transmission. I think he got transmission from Uchiyama. I don't know. I mean, I've got all that in Cuke.com, but he's in that lineage. Nope. Here it is. He got it. It's on his brief bio here. He got ordained and transmission from Ryu Tamiya Roshi. All right. And he came to America in 1979. And he went on to found the Milwaukee Zen Center and one in Anchorage, Alaska. He's the teacher of Jisho Carey Warner, who has the quite successful Zendo in Grayton, Stone Creek Zen Center. Tozen lives in Santa Rosa, California, and I lived there, and I met him at Jisho's place. I went there for some ceremony, and we started having tea and coffee together at Aroma Roasters at the Railroad Square in Santa Rosa, and some friends would join us, and he's just a wonderful guy. I have a page for him on Cuke.com with various things to offer there. And you can read his Sweeping Zen bio. Sweeping Zen doesn't exist anymore, so that's going to get a 404. But you know what? I have to fix that. I've got the whole thing off of archive.com. So, and there's teachings from Tozen there on his page. Hey, hey, let me read you what he said about Kobuchino. This is an excerpt from something I wrote on Kobuchino called Our Great Friend and Teacher, Kobuchino. Tozen Akiyama came from Japan to be a priest in America. So that's after he got his transmission and everything. He studied Zen and he was coming back. Kobun had agreed to be his sponsor and was to pick him up at the airport. He didn't, nor did he respond to any of Tozen's attempts to contact him. Finally, when it was too late, Tozen met him somewhere and Kobun apologized. Tozen asked him again if he would be his sponsor upon his return. Kobun said yes, and details were quickly agreed on. When the time came, Kobun didn't show again and couldn't be located. Tozen found another sponsor, but he still remembers Kobun fondly. Here's a little something from his page. Oh, there's my doggy. From his page on Cuke.com. From Hideko Oga, who was married to Graham Pecci, who is no longer with us, one of Suzuki Roshi's earliest strong students. She says, my friend, Reverend Akiyama, sent me an email, but he forgot the photo to attach. Then he responded, I sent you one of the most important Buddhist teachings in my last email. Attachment is empty. I mentioned that, he mentioned, in what I read from him, the brief memory, he said, well, I don't know why you'd be interested in what I was saying when you were driving me to Aroma Roasters. I posted this on the 2012, July 28th. Picking up Tozen Akiyama in a while in Santa Rosa, taking him to Green Gulch to have lunch with Shohaku Okumura in honor of this event, posting many more lectures given in early years by Tozen, now happily retired and avoiding most ceremonies and social obligations. This has been a brief memory of Shunryu Suzuki, sort of. I'm DC Puba of Cuke Audio and Cuke Archives, coming to you from sleepy Sanur, with Doggett Bandita, Feline Cuchita, and dear, lovely Katrinka. And we're wishing you and yours and all of us a grand awakening.